welcoming the Energy Minister of Uganda, Honorable Judith Nabakooba, and she's also the Minister for Lands, Energy, Housing, and Urban Development. So, thank you, ma'am, for honoring us with your visit today.
Excellencies, wonderful to have you here. Thank you so much for joining us. So, at the Climate Governance Commission, we work across diverse geographies all around the world. Continent, we're working with the World Resource Institute based in Nairobi. We'd love to ask you, firstly, in terms of Uganda's situation currently, your ambitions for Uganda. You want to be a regional leader in clean energy or the energy transition. And what are the main challenges you're confronting in Uganda in terms of scaling up clean energy and really tackling the energy transition?
Thank you very much once again, Your Excellencies and invited guests. I am here in my capacity as Minister Lands, Housing and Urban Development in the Republic of Uganda. My colleague, Honorable Ruth Nava, Minister of Energy, is tied up, but we hope that she will be shown to join us and will elaborate on a number of things we are doing in the energy sector. I would say that Uganda, like they have told you, it's a country within the East African region, and we have a young population of about 48 million Ugandans, and out of that, 70% of our population is a young population. That is to say, the age of 30 and below. Then the things we are investing in right now, or where we are putting our emphasis as a country, we are looking at ICT, service sector, agromechanization, and industrialization. But when we look at the areas of focus for Uganda, you realize that much of what we are trying to do, of course, needs energy. And when we are talking about energy, we want to have clean energy. Of course, we know that our pollution levels are still low, being a developing country, but energy is one area where His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, has put much emphasis. And that's why we have seen the Minister participating in the COP28. We are talking about energy mix, we are talking about hydro, we are talking about solar and other forms of power, because we know that power will help our country not only in industrialization but also for day-to-day use of our people. You see that in most African countries, we use firewood and charcoal for cooking, but now we want to get out of that and begin using what we call clean energy, but clean energy which is affordable to all, the urban, but also the rural population. And we believe that once it is affordable, then our people will get away from the traditional methods of cooking, and we shall see even more people getting connected onto the grid. So those are the areas we are looking up to. And looking at my sector, I would say that the environment in Uganda is very conducive, and His Excellency welcomes investors in all areas. To me, I've been very supportive to the energy sector through land, giving them land where these projects normally sit. So we work with the energy sector to ensure that we look for land in areas of priority and in areas where these projects are going to take place. We have land in 22 industrial zones that are across the country, and that land is basically free land for those who come to put up investment in our country. And I would suggest that if any of you has any project and they are interested in investing in Uganda, we are available and the land is available in the country. It's a matter of telling us your area of interest, your region of interest, Then we shall work with the Uganda Investment Authority to ensure that land is availed to you for any investment purposes. There are incentives given to investors, but those incentives can be explained adequately by the Uganda Investment Authority, and they are also part of the COP28 meeting. They came to tell you about Uganda, but also to tell you what we have to offer as Ugandans in as far as investment is concerned.
Just the supplementary question. There was recently the Africa Climate Summit earlier this year, and colleagues who attended that were very inspired that this was a new vision for Africa as a hub for solutions, for climate solutions, also with the young population and this entrepreneurial drive. Do you feel like you've got this spirit of thinking, how can we really drive also climate solutions that can also show leadership in the world? With the young population, I'm meeting many more African entrepreneurs, incredible clean energy and other projects. What do you think about that in terms of entrepreneurs and solutions being generated in Uganda?
Thank you very much for that question. Talking about our population and the solutions in the country, there is quite a lot which we are trying to do as a country. And remember, we participated in the African Climate Summit in Nairobi, but still, me as a Minister for Lands, I was so much into the area of urbanization, the urban agenda and the Agenda 2063, looking at how the urban areas can be part of the climate change solution. We have seen that in urban areas, it's where we have congestion, pollution, wetlands just disappear, deforestation takes place. We are looking at having immobility. We are looking at having clean methods of cooking. We are looking at having, safe ways of doing things, but also reducing on the pollution by having good methods of solid waste management. So during that summit, we deliberated on a number of things which we think that they can help us to put the urban agenda on table, because before we have not been integrating urban issues in the climate change arena. And we believe that most of the rural population move from the villages to the urban areas. When they congregate, there is a lot which takes place. We want to look at improving the livelihoods of our people. And in Uganda, we have a program which is called Parish Development Model that was brought by His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, to see how we can uplift our people who are still below the poverty line. They are given some money to begin doing some businesses wherever they are, whether a rural area or an urban area. But we are also looking at ways, how can we lure our urban people to get away from the traditional methods of cooking? What are the options in place? What can they use to make sure that we have what we call clean methods of cooking, which are environmentally friendly, but also which have incentives that can draw the entire population to change their ways of looking at things? We are looking at energy consumption levels and the number of things that are being done for our people who live in the urban areas to extend clean energy. But we are also looking at making greening for our cities. We are looking at our cities. We have currently 10 new secondary cities where people are encouraged to come and invest. These are cities that were approved in 2019 by the Parliament of the Republic of Uganda. And these cities have a lot of potential where we can do a lot to improve things of environment, but also to teach our population on clean methods of living and also doing things. The cities, we are looking at also having a wetland city, wetland cities, smart cities, that can be adaptable to climate change, but also where we can look at things of slums, upgrade transformative ways of living in slums to improve also the livelihoods of the people who stay in slums. We can say that in Uganda we have a housing deficit of 2.4 million housing units for somebody to have what is called a decent but also affordable house, which meets all the criteria that can stand the test of time. So a number of things are being done, and when we're in Kenya, we looked at what they have done in the areas of housing. They are doing a lot in the areas of housing to ensure that every Kenyan can have what is called a decent but also adequate housing that meets the standards of living for any human being. And we are going to benchmark with Nairobi to see what they have done, because they are improving their cities. They are working on their cities to improve them, to make sure that they have the provisions for greening, climate change, but also the e-mobility, the innovations in the e-mobility, because a lot of innovations have been done in that area. And since that was the first summit, we believe that we are yet to learn in more summits to come, because that was the first of its kind. It was a learning. There was many lessons for us to learn from as Ugandans, but also as Africans, but also to unite as a bloc of Africans to see how we can push the agenda of climate change. And we believe that even in this meeting, we are picking more lessons, we are learning more, but also we are getting people who can support us in areas of green energy, in areas of urbanization. We are looking at agriculture, in even land utilization and spatial planning. We are getting a lot of lessons. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. It sounds like the SDGs in action and really holistic approach to, human dignity and social economic well-being. It sounds amazing. So many congratulations. And thank you so much for sharing a bit about what you're up to tonight.
I want to thank you so much for this opportunity. It was at a short notice, but I've really appreciated meeting you all. And we pray that we shall keep in touch to see how we can expand on this conversation and also identify areas of focus, areas of support, areas of innovation, because for us, we are open to any technical support, any innovation that can help us to push the agenda forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am.